Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about people underestimating you. And I think that for a lot of us, especially if you present in a way that is more like, if you present as like a humble person, you know what I mean? If you don't, you know what I mean? If you have this more like quiet form of confidence, or even if you don't have confidence, well, especially if you don't have confidence, like it can show. But if you're kind of low profile and stuff like that, and you're not really trying to prove anything or whatever, you're more like, you know what I mean? Like you don't really stand out or you don't want to stand out. A lot of the times people can underestimate you. Or like for instance, if you're not doing too well in school, or if you're not doing too well, I don't know, at work, if you don't stand out in anything, or if you don't, let's say, talk a lot or whatever, you know what I mean? Like people can underestimate you for, I don't know, giving off this sort of like vibe, you know what I mean? And today I'm going to talk about how good that actually is, because a lot of the times people won't expect a lot from us. A lot of us have big dreams and we won't say it. And people think that we don't want much in life, that we're not really aspiring to be anyone, or we're not really aspiring to do things in life. And people can think that we're just okay doing, the bare minimum, let's say, in life, or doing minimally well, if that makes sense. So people can underestimate us and they can be like, this person doesn't know anything. This person doesn't want anything for themselves. You know what I mean? This person is stupid, or this person is dumb, or this person doesn't think, or whatever. It's not that I don't think, it's not that I'm dumb. I just don't speak. You know what I mean? And a lot of the times people can think you're crazy or dumb or whatever, and they cannot underestimate your ability. You know what I mean? If you ever do something well in life, if you ever, I don't know, get a good grade in an exam, or if you get promoted, or if you get a certain job that is like really hard for everybody to get, or if you have something happen to you that is like unlikely for everybody else to, to have happen to them. It can be like, what? You know what I mean? Like people can be like, wait, the fuck? You know what I mean? So I think it's better if people underestimate you, because that way people don't have this like expectation, you know what I mean, of you, this like false thing, that doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Because if people expect too much from you, then it's like, okay, then I have to live up to this expectation, or live up for the expectation. You know what I mean? Like you have to sort of like, mm, fill in this like blank, or this like, you have to fit in this like box that like people have of you. You know what I mean? Like you have to like meet all their checklist of expectations. You know what I mean? I have a second cousin, no, second uncle, I think it is. Yeah, he was really good in school. They said that he was like, that he had an IQ like above average, whatever. Like he would go to chess tournaments and everything. Like he was really smart, allegedly. And then he studied college, I think it was, and he studied to be a chef. I don't know if you study that in college. You probably don't. But the thing is, he studied to be a chef, which was a surprise, and it was a shock for a lot of people in the family, because it's like all those chess tournaments and all those prizes that, or awards that you got, and it's like, you're gonna be a chef. You know what I mean? I mean, you can do whatever you want. If that's what made him happy and that's really his passion in life, why shouldn't he pursue it? But the thing is, like, it's bad when people expect a lot from you, because then if people perceive that you're under delivering, if that makes sense, it's not that you're under delivering. They were just overhyping you. You know what I mean? Like people can be like, he was so successful in everything. What happened? You know what I mean? Like you can deceive, right? I mean, at the end of the day, nobody cares what people think of you. But the thing is, like, it's better if people underestimate you. If they think you're never gonna go anywhere in life, if you don't really talk about what you want or whatever, the moment you achieve something, the moment you get something, the moment something happens in your life, people are gonna be like, you know what I mean? So I think it's better to have people like underestimate you. I've had, and this like killed my confidence a little bit when I was in college, around like, I think it was in the third year. A lot of my friends would underestimate me. I don't know if it's because I looked younger than them. Like we were all the same age, but I think because I looked younger than them, they would underestimate me and kind of like think of me as like someone who's more stupid or naive or more like inexperienced, when really I was just the same age. And they knew I was a good student. I never understood why they underestimated me. Maybe it's because I was more like, low key and humble, and I looked younger. So maybe they were like, why did this bitch get a good grade? Because I studied, and I always study. So why wasn't I going to get a good grade? You know what I mean? What makes you think you know what I mean? Why did you get a bad grade? Bro, you're a bad student. You know what I mean? Like, no wonder why you got a bad grade. Like, You know what I mean? Like, they would get surprised that I would get good grades, and it's like, I've always gotten good grades. You've always gotten bad grades. I'm not saying you're stupid, you just don't study. You know what I mean? And you're surprised that I got a good grade? Maybe you're disappointed that you didn't get a good grade. I remember when I was in even when it comes to career paths, because when I was in middle school, I think it was in the third year, I had this chemistry teacher, and I'm not trying to give shit to the teacher, like, he was an amazing person. It's just that he was very honest with his reaction, because I remember he was asking everybody what we wanted to be when we grew up, or what we wanted to study in college, whatever. And it's kind of, if you're in the third year in middle school, that's ninth grade. So we were 14. So it's kind of young to ask, because a lot of people, when they're 20, they don't know. So when you're 14, I mean, some of us knew, like, I've known I wanted to study business administration since I was 13, I think. And I was 14, so I already knew it. And I had friends who wanted to be doctors. I had friends who wanted to be engineers. I had friends who wanted to be journalists. I had friends who wanted to be psychologists or criminologists or whatever. And I remember my teacher was asking everybody one by one, and somebody would say, doctor. And he was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, that's great. Somebody wanted to study criminology, and he was like, oh my God, that is so much fun. Somebody else wanted to be a sports journalist, and he was like, oh my God, that is so cool. Like, everybody was saying all these things that sounded really cool. In my mind, I was like, who knows if they're going to end up doing those things, but whatever. And then when he asked me, I was like, I want to study business administration. And he was like, oh. And then he asked the next person, like, it didn't seem interesting to him at all. I mean, I get it. He was a chemistry teacher, you know what I mean? Like, it can sound, I can imagine how exciting that must be for him. Not at all, So I was like, okay, I mean, I get it. You're a chemistry teacher. I mean, I don't find chemistry too exciting either. I prefer, if anything, biology. Or, I don't know, maybe math. I don't know. But anyway, chemistry is cool, but I was like, well, I mean, you didn't study my degree for a reason, and I'm not studying yours for a reason. Everybody has different tastes, but I was like, you don't have to be like that. I was like, does it really sound that boring? Does it really sound that fucking boring? You know how many things you can do with that degree? Like, you can be in a lot of job positions. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can do really fun stuff over there. But he didn't think it was going to be that fun. Anyway, or he was like, oh, that's kind of you know what I mean? He didn't expect much from me. Well, you know what? Today, on this day, in that class, out of the people in that class, everybody's decisions were so fucking interesting or whatever. Most of those people are not studying what they said that they were going to study. Half of the people in the class did not finish their degree. And half of the people in the class did not even go to college. Now, I'm not even kidding. Like, maybe it's not exactly like half of the people, but a lot of them did not even study that. The people who went to college, they haven't finished. Like, it's degrees of 4 years. This is the fifth one. I'm in a master's degree. They have not finished their degree. And half did not even go to college. It's like, okay, maybe my degree wasn't all that exciting, but at least I'm doing things. At least I'm doing it. I'm on it, and I'm working hard. And I got good grades because I worked my fucking ass off. And these people, I'm not saying good grades are, like, important at all, but what I'm saying is that I worked really hard, and I'm doing what I said I was going to do. I'm there, In fact, I already finished that degree. And a lot of people have not even finished, they haven't even started those degrees. So, I think it's better when people underestimate you, because it's like, oh shit, she said she was going to study business admin, and she did it. All these people that were saying really cool stuff, quote unquote cool stuff, it was all words. It was all fucking words. So, if they think you're stupid, if they think you're crazy, if they think you're boring, if they think your lifestyle is boring, if they think that you are way too humble, if they think you're young and naive and inexperienced and whatever, who cares if people underestimate you? Just do your thing. You don't have to tell anybody what you're doing, how you're doing it, whatever. Let them underestimate you. Then the moment something happens, they're going to be like, oh shit. But they're not going to be surprised that you did it. They're going to be surprised that they didn't do it. Maybe they thought their life was going to be, like, so cool, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? Like, I think it's better if people think you're not going to do much in life. And then the moment something cool happens, they're going to be like, oh, shit. Do you know what I mean? I've always had big dreams. When did I tell anybody? I just do the thing and that's it. I've only told my parents because they're my parents. And they're supportive because they gotta be supportive. They're my parents. You know what I mean? But other than that, I haven't told anybody else. Because they're gonna be like, this bitch is crazy. And if I tell them, they're gonna have an expectation. They're gonna be like, so she wants to be the CEO of Apple. That's not true, but it's just an example. So she wants to be the CEO of Apple. Okay. Then they're gonna be like, okay, that's never gonna happen. But now they're gonna have an expectation that it's here. When am I gonna get to this point? Never. I don't think I'm ever gonna be the CEO of Apple. It's not even my dream. But what I'm saying is, if I tell them where I want to go, they're gonna have this expectation. And then what if I don't meet that expectation? They're gonna be like, bitch, when are you doing that? You know what I mean? Mind your own fucking business. That's why I don't tell people. Because I'm like, you know what? If people think that I want to have a normal administrative accounting, whatever the fuck job, and they think that I want to have, they think that I want to have that job my entire life, I'm happy if they think that. Because I don't get paid. They don't get paid to think this or that. I don't get paid for them to think this or that. I don't care. You know what I mean? They don't pay my bills. I don't care what they think. You know? If they don't expect a lot from me, that's amazing. Because then the moment something different happens, they're going to be like, oh shit. Because at the end of the day, we kind of care what people think. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm not telling people, because I know they're going to cringe and they're going to be like, this bitch is crazy. But it's not even about what other people think. You know what I mean? Just do your thing, no matter what other people think. If people think you're crazy, it's fine. If people think you're dumb, if people think you're delusional, whatever, it's fine. Just let them think you're sick in the head. You know what I mean? Just do your thing. You don't have to tell anybody. Let them think whatever they want to think about you. Just because you have this certain like direction and because you want to do this in life doesn't mean everybody has to know. Don't tell anybody. Just do what you have to do. And if people think that you want to be this job that you really don't want to be, maybe you want to be an astronaut and you're telling people that you want to be a teacher. Tell them you want to be a teacher. The moment you become an astronaut, they're going to be like, but I thought you wanted to be a teacher, or I thought she wanted to be a teacher, or they wanted to be a teacher. Yeah, that's what I told everybody. You guys were going to cringe if I told you guys that I wanted to be an astronaut. Who was going to make that happen for me? Who's going to turn me into an astronaut? I'm responsible for that. You're not responsible for that, so there's no use in telling you. You know? So just do things. Do your own thing. Don't care what other people think. Don't tell people your any moves. Don't tell people what you're doing, what you're up to, what you're whatever. You know what I mean? A lot of people think I'm probably crazy and I probably don't do anything, or I probably do nothing but studying or whatever, just because I have big dreams and because I make content. Some people know that I make content, but a lot of people don't know, for instance, that I have this channel. Like, nobody knows I have this channel. And then there's people who don't know that I have the dreams that I have. So they're probably like, what is she doing all day? Well, maybe I'm thinking about my future. Maybe I'm planning things. Maybe I'm making content, whatever. But I'm not going to tell them because I'm not interested in them knowing. If they think I'm not doing anything at all, if they think I'm studying all day long, like, I don't care. I'm just going to do my thing, you know? I'm just going to do my thing, because who's the one that's responsible for things to happen to me? Who's the one that has to make videos for things to happen? Who's the one that has to make content, to be consistent, whatever? I'm the one that has to do that. So there's no use in telling anybody else, you know? And I don't want to have them judging me. If they're going to judge me, like, that's fine. They judge me anyway. But the thing is, I don't want to have them judge me even more. So why would I give them more, let's say, reasons to do that? So I don't tell people what I'm doing. So you don't have to tell people everybody. You don't have to tell people everything. So, sorry if this video was a little bit messy. I haven't made a video in a week, and it's kind of embarrassing. But anyway, I've been having exams and shit to do anyway. So, hopefully I'm going to get back to posting every day again. So, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Sorry if this was a bit messy, but that was kind of the message. Bye.